I'm Yossi Mazel, CEO of Bendit Technologies from Israel. I love to present to such an intimate audience, and I think maybe each one of you can present himself and we can do first name basis. So, Bendit is a growth stage company with initial US sales for an FDA-cleared microcatheter, a steerable catheter indicated for neurocoronary, and I'm raising a capital of $10 million. As I mentioned, Israeli company founded in 2013, so we've been here a while. In 2019, we cleared the device CE and FDA just for the peripheral indication, and in our previous round, we had Varian Medical Systems, which is part of Siemens, and Indaco and TechVal from Italy as our investors. Now, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, so this video is worth millions. So for those of you who understand catheters, you have a slider that is able to deflect the tip of the catheter, and this is unique. Complete control of deflection allows you for better navigation. You have a micro torquer, so you can control the tip of the catheter, or you can rotate the handle for a full rotation of the catheter. Even if you challenge it, it still operates, functions perfectly. So even, like I said, even if it goes through tortuous anatomy, you still have control, you still have deflection, you can still navigate as distally as you want into the brain. Now, typically, catheters are used with guide wires, and here you see an 18 guide wire coming out of the Bendit, but the novelty of the technology is that it can be used without guide wires, saving a lot of time and equipment. So basically, the catheter can go all the way from groin to brain without the use of guide wires. Second novelty, here you see the Bendit coming out of a 5 French aspiration catheter. Aspiration catheter is used to aspirate blood clots from the brain. And the Bendit is strong enough to deflect this aspiration catheter and point it all the way to the carotid. Now, when physicians see this, they say 3 things. First, they say, wow. Second, they say, I have patients that could benefit from this right now. And the third thing they say, we want to invest. Okay? So this is quite unique. Basically, this pair, Bendit catheter and aspiration catheter, can go all the way from groin to the brain. And here you see the Bendit inside the silicon model. You can see the aspiration catheter tracking very, very nicely. You can see the Bendit able to enter an aneurysm. This is when you're supposed to say, wow, impressive. Come on. Okay, the team headed by Chairman Rich Capetta, who is a veteran of this industry, used to be the president and CEO of Microvention. Oscar Biri is a successful Israeli entrepreneur. Dr. Alex Bernstein from Mount Sinai is one of the pioneering of this indication, neurointervention. As I mentioned, over 25 neurointerventionalists, direct investors in the company to the sum of a few $1 million. Myself, over 20 years experience in the Israeli medical devices industry. So today, when neurointerventionalists use catheters, they need to first use a guide wire, and on top of the guide wire, they have to put the catheter, and this results in poor access to tortuous anatomy, in exchanges that are time-consuming. You have to put a guide wire, take out the guide wire, put a new guide wire. There is poor control of the controlled site or where you want to do the treatment. It requires a lot of training of what we say good hands, a good pair of hands, okay? And obviously, there are additional costs of the guide wires. What the catheter you just saw gives is perfect control, even in complex, obviously in simple anatomies. You have complete control of the tip as an operator. It is very intuitive to use. You don't need secondary equipment. And if I go straight down to actual usage, when I look at the neuro indication, the first thing that we've shown already is less time to treat stroke. Okay, and this is huge. I mean, stroke, you all know the expression, time is brain, okay? The ability to treat stroke in less time has huge implications, okay? The second important indication in neuro is the ability to deliver intrasaccular device precisely and accurately into aneurysm to treat them. In terms of the peripheral indication, which is the secondary indication, the most interesting one is what's called interventional oncology, the ability to treat liver cancer and deliver chemotherapy beads or radiotherapy beads directly at tumors, and you can deliver to specific locations in the liver without having to use guide wires. Again, saving a lot of time and procedure time. In terms of the size of the market, it's a very, very significant market, around $1 billion market. 40% of it is in the US. It's growing very, very significantly as there is more awareness to stroke procedures, aneurysm procedures, so this market is growing significantly. There is also a big growth in the Far East, especially in China, for this indication. In terms of what we call at this time a secondary market, which is the peripheral market, also huge growth of this market. Specifically, I mean, this is a multidisciplinary indication, okay, the peripheral indication. We're at this time looking more closely at the interventional oncology, and also this market is growing very, very, very fastly. In terms of what we're doing right now, we're soft launching or controlled launching it in the US. We have orders from multiple US hospitals. This week, as we speak, we've launched 2 additional hospitals, so that's our 2nd and 3rd hospital. We're going to launch soon our 4th. So we're doing a very controlled. We want to do a commercial proof of concept in 10 US hospitals. And so we started in July at Mount Sinai Hospital, New York. We already have a 2nd order from this hospital, and this week we have a lucky team from Bendit in Honolulu doing cases at Queen's Hospital. We have another team in New York doing Stony Brook, New York, doing cases with Dr. Fiorella. So like I said, we want good results. This is the purpose of the soft launch is to demonstrate the commercial traction of the device, so recurring revenue, justifying the price of the device. In terms of pipeline, we have a 2nd device coming. So the first device that is FDA cleared is an 021 device, which means an 0.21 of an inch as an inner diameter. We have a 2nd device, a 17, close to design freeze, that we hope to submit to the FDA sometime in the next year. Apart from that, based on the IP, we can do additional devices for specific indication, like I said, coronary, peripheral, neuro, and also different types of guide wires. In terms of what we're planning to do in the next couple of years, transfer the production from Israel to the US, continue with the R&D and continue the commercialization just in the US. For this, I'm raising up to $10 million in a C round. Basically, I'm looking for a lead investor, and the rest of my current investor will probably join this investment. Questions? So I'm here until Saturday. Feel free to reach out, email me, or call me. Thank you for your time and attention.